The Namunkekera Industrial Park, also known as the Lianshen Industrial Park in Kapeeka, has had successful industrial activity since 2015, when it was launched by His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, the President of the Republic of Uganda. However, many Ugandans think that the economic development activity started in this area after the groundbreaking ceremony 8 years ago. The Namunkekera Kapeeka land has been a beehive of industrial activity since the colonial times. In the inception of Christianity in Uganda, the Church Missionary Society pioneered religion, education, health, agriculture, business, and governance. The British Protectorate then established a commercial arm in London in 1903, the Uganda Company Limited, to take over the assets of the Church Missionary Society accumulated during their strategic evangelism and mission. The company's first objective was to acquire and carry on the undertakings which had been carried on by the Church Missionary Society in the Uganda British Protectorate and to provide a business-like solution to the labor question in Uganda. By 1907, Mr. Bloedel, a skilled rubber planter from Ceylon, and Mr. Lee Wilson, who had previously been a wheat farmer in Canada, began to develop the Uganda Company Limited estates in Namunkekera, Bulemezi County. Namunkekera was allocated on a 99-year lease to the white owners for agricultural purpose, but they could not get a Milo title on that piece of land since a law had already been passed barring non-Ugandans from acquiring Milo land.
It was originally a property of the Uganda Company. The Uganda Company was the industrial arm of the Church Missionary Society. They acquired this land in 1946. On 20th November, that's when they got a freehold of about 2,200 acres. Later on, 1958, the Uganda Company sold the property to Mr. Prabhudas Karidas Shah for about 130,000 shillings at that time. Then in 1966, an African group called Industrial Coffee Growers purchased it from the Mr. Prabhudas Karidas Shah and managed that entity until that land until 1972, when it was acquired, I think by force, by East Mengo Growers Cooperative Union, and then we purchased it from East Mengo Growers 1997. So all along this Kapeeka site has been an industrial estate, so to say. From Uganda Company to PKS to Industrial Coffee Growers to East Mengo, all of them were basic extractive. Produce cotton, send it abroad. Now the whole scenario in Kapeeka has changed completely because we are utilizing local materials to produce locally and regionally consumed products, and even others for export. It started with the cotton and coffee. Later on, they had gone into animals. So that's the brief background of the land at Kapeeka. The land title now is approximately 78 years old, but the recent transformation as a result of FDI from China is less than 10 years. So the transformation that has taken place there now is because of the FDI, for foreign direct investment. And the local contribution was just land, which we never sold to them. We gave it to them at nominal price so that we are able to attract them into the area.
The Chinese investors in the Namunkekera Industrial Park, also known as the Lianshen Industrial Park, have set up a chain of industries that manufacture a variety of goods which previously used to be imported but are now manufactured in Uganda for both the local and international market, therefore providing jobs for many youths.
The industrial park right now has access to 1,280 acres, of which I think they have used about 400 acres only, so they still have a lot of land for expansion. From 2006, in the economic development strategy, we planned, and we are still planning, to have about 25 such industrial parks like Kapeeka. I think like 9 or 10 of them are already active. That is Namunkekera, Ruzira, Buyikwe, Mbale, Kasese, Rila. There is designated land for Rila. The one of Soroti is active. Mbale is very active. So it's an overall strategy. Kapeeka is not in isolation. Then we have got planned ones in Pakwach. There is a planned one in Kisolo. There is a planned one in, I think, Lakai side, Mutukula at the border there. So originally we planned for 25, but I think those ones which are active are 12. And I think the strategy is to complete the 25 by 2030. Guru has bigger chances of a bigger projects, like the Atiak Sugar. Atiak Sugar is one of the biggest investments undertaken in the region. On your way back, I think you should visit the Guru Logistics Hub, because that one is already invested in. Then Pakwach Inland Port, where the railway is going to terminate. The Tororo Pakwach railway line is going to terminate. You could expect a bigger investment in Acholi than that one of Kapeeka, especially focusing on the South Sudanese market and then the northeastern DRC. I think there are very, very good possibilities. This is industrialization. It is industrialization so that we can move more people from the agriculture side into industry and services. Because as you have seen in Kapeeka, the employees in the park are almost equal to the employees outside the park who are self-employed. The ones inside the park they are employed by the factories, but the ones outside the park in the service sectors are equally big. So I think the projection looks very good. The projection looks very good, except the cost of doing business in terms of power. The cost of power is still high, and the road infrastructure around the industrial parks is not good, and it has a lot of traffic. But I think the projection looks very, very good.
Uganda is one of the countries attracting the most foreign direct investment, FDI, in East Africa. The country is rich in natural resources, and its geographic location gives it an ideal strategic base to become a regional hub of trade and investment. However, in the fight to improve household income, FDI has a limit.
There is a smaller problem there that however much FDI you get, it cannot fight household poverty in rural areas. That's why you cannot rely only on industrial parks to fight poverty. You must rely on the industrial parks to create products for exports and for import substitution. But we have another medicine specifically for household incomes, and that is the PDM now. That's why for the last 4 years, we have shifted from input distribution to revolving fund of PDM. And so far we have injected, I think, 2.2 trillion, I think, by now into the PDM. because the FDI cannot fight the household poverty. You must have another channel. The industrial parks will give us jobs, will give us products, but it will not fight that household poverty. That's why we have the parish development model, which has been very successful in many situations. I must also add that there are more industries outside industrial parks. Like when you are driving along Bombo Road, I think you saw. There are more standalone industries than those in the industrial parks. So the industrialization agenda for Uganda, I think, is on the right track. If you look at those guys who are working in the industrial parks, they have been learning on the job. They were not prepared to work in factories, but the Ugandans are very quick at adapting. All those people you see working in the industries were not trained for that. They have just adapted. Imagine if they had been skilled for that. The output would have been much, much higher.
The government has established over 20 regional skilling centers, which train over 5,000 people who are certified by Directorate of Industrial Training to prepare them for industrial park jobs. Operation Wealth Creation, an intervention to efficiently facilitate national socio-economic transformation with a focus on raising household incomes and wealth creation by transforming subsistence farmers into commercial farmers to end poverty, works closely with the industrial park.